Okay, this is the review for the second review for exam 2. So, as I've said previously, exam 2 will look a lot like exam 1, obviously covering different chapters. But the problems that we're going to work, we're going to do declining balance loans, add-on loans, and discount method loans, and then we're also going to do mortgage refinancing. So the first question here is add-on method. So Johnny's buying a bus from Willie. Willie will finance it for 3 years using the add-on method. The amount of the loan will be $100,000. How much is his monthly payment? So first thing we got to do is calculate the interest. It's principal, the 100,000 times the rate, the 12%, times time, equal, which is 3 years, so 36,000. So the monthly payment, we add the loan amount and the interest together, and then we divide by the number of periods or monthly payments. So that's divided by 3 times 12, or 36. So $3,778. So now to calculate the APR, N is 3 times 12, so 36 months. The rate is, we're calculating the rate. The PV is the loan amount, and then the payment is the monthly payment, the $777.78, and the future value is 0. So equals rate, and then I'll click up here on the formula bar, and so it's number of periods, comma, payment, comma, start over. The computer was nice enough to tell me I had everything muted. So all right. So this is the review for exam 1 or exam 2. Sorry, the exam 2 will look very much like exam 3. I'm sorry, exam 1. The problems on exam 2 will be 3 different kinds of loans, and then mortgage refinancing. So we'll have add-on method, discount method, and declining balance method loans. So first problem, Johnny is buying a bus from Willie. Willie will finance it for 3 years at 12% using the add-on method. The amount of the loan will be $100,000. How much is his monthly payment? So first thing to do is you calculate the interest. I equals P times R times T, principal times rate times time. So 100,000 times 12% times 3, so that's 36,000 of interest. So the payment is the principal plus the interest. And we need that in parentheses, and then we divide by the number of years times the number of compounding periods, or 3 times 12, or 36. So $3,778 is the monthly payment. So N, the number of periods, 3 times 12. IY, we're calculating. PV is the loan amount, and that's a positive, and then negative the payment, and then 0 future value, and equals rate. So go up here to the formula bar, the number of periods, comma, payment, comma, and then present value, and I don't have to enter future value because it's 0. close paren, hit return, 1.77%. So that's a monthly rate. So to annualize it, I multiply it by 12. So 21.20% is the rate on the true rate on that loan, even though the stated rate is 12%. Next, we have Charlie. We have discount method loan. So discount method, interest is calculated the same way, except instead of adding the interest, you subtract the interest. So Charlie's buying a new Silverado from Camden's Auto Sales. You provide the financing, he uses a discount method. If you borrow $60,000 for 6% for 5 years, what is the payment on the loan? So the payment on the loan is the loan amount, and then we divide by the number of periods. So that is 5 times 12 or 60. So the payment amount is $1,000 a month. Now interest, I equals P times R times D, principal, 60,000, rate, 6%, 5 years. So now the true loan amount is the 60,000 minus the 18,000, or 42,000. So now to calculate the APR, we need the number of periods, 5 times 12. Now calculating IOI, the PV is the true loan amount, and then the payment is $1,000 and 0 future value, and just like before, equals rate. Go up to the formula bar, a number of periods, comma, payment, comma, PV, and then I don't have to enter the present value. So the rate is 1.25%. So that's a monthly rate. So we multiply that by 12, and we get 15.04% for the rate. All right. Any questions?
No, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello. All right. So next we have a declining balance loan, and we're going to calculate the balance on loan. So if you have a car payment or a mortgage payment, your mortgage or your payment should be calculated in the same way. Hopefully you don't have one of the 2 previous types of loans I just described. So the 2 questions are identical, but we're going to calculate this one with declining balance method. So again, Charlie is buying a new Silverado from Camden's Auto Sale. He's providing the financing. He uses declining balance method. If he borrows $60,000 at 6%, how much is his monthly payment? So the N is 5 times 12. So 60. Now IOI is 6% divided by 12. We need a monthly rate. So PV is the loan amount, and then future value is 0. So equals payment PMT. So all right. So 8 comma number of periods comma. All right. And then PV, and we don't have to add future value because it's 0 or include future value. So payment $1,159.97.
That's how much he has to make monthly?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's car payments are quite expensive these days with the price of vehicles. So now to calculate the balance. So what's the balance on the loan after 3 years? So that means that there's 2 years remaining. So that means we need n's going to be 2 times 12. And the rate's the same. And then we're going to calculate PV and then our payment. There we go. So we'll equals PV. And I go up here in the formula bar. So so rate, comma, number of periods, comma, and comma. There we go. And then payment. And again, I don't have to include future value because it's 0. Oh, did it in the wrong cell here. Let me start over here. Okay, equals PV. Now I'll go up here. Now rate, comma, number of periods, comma, and then payment. And then $26,172 is the balance after 3 years. The APR on the loan is on a discount loan is or declining balance loan, sorry, is the stated rate. So it's a 6%.
Mhm.
Questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So next we're going to do mortgage refinancing. So you calculate the payment and the balance just like we did in the previous question.
Mhm.
And then we have to calculate the new payment based on the outstanding balance and the new rate. And then then in this last part, we calculate the points in the monthly savings and determine how long you need to live in the house to justify the refinancing. So Nellie bought her house 16 years ago. She borrowed $250,000 with a 30-year mortgage, a 6% APR. Her mortgage broker has offered her a 14-year mortgage with a 5% APR and 2 points closing costs. What's her original monthly payment? So we've got the original information here, the $250,000 loan amount, the 6%, 30 years monthly compounding or monthly payments, however you want to look at it. So N is 30 years monthly or 360 months. So if you take out a 30-year mortgage and pay it for 30 years, you will make 360 payments. So the rate is, we need a monthly rate. So 6 divided by 12 or 0.5%, just like on the previous problem. Then the PV is the loan amount. And then we're going to calculate the payment equals P, oops. All right, so rate, comma, number of periods, comma, EV, and again, we don't have to enter a future value. So $1,498.88. So now the balance, there's 14 years remaining, so 14 times 12 is your number of periods. The rate is the same, and then we'll include our payment, and then so now equals PV up here, so it doesn't cover it up when we're done working. So rate, comma, number of periods, comma, and payment, and then close paren. So $170,087.97. So that would be the loan amount on the new loan. So now the rate on the new loan is going to be $170,000 at 5% for 14 years. So N is 14 times 12. IY is 5 divided by 12. And you want to make sure that you do the calculation, and if dependent, if you're using the computer to do it, don't type in 0.42 because the the
Mhm.
number is, the number
Greater.
it's
Mhm.
goes on. So just do the calculation and include that number in your, as opposed to typing in
Mhm.
the 0.42. That's one of the big mistakes I see students make. The PV is the $170,087.97. We're calculating the payment, and future value is 0 equals PMT. Go to the formula bar. So rate, comma, number period, comma, and then present value. Get return. So $1,409.81. So you're saving almost $90 a month, close to it anyway. So the monthly savings, the way to calculate those, it if you do a minus, a negative on the first, and then add add the 1498, and then add the 1409, and that'll give you a positive. So $89.07. So the points is the loan amount times 2%. Uh, 1 point is 1%, so 2 points is 2%. So, the points is $3,400.76. We're assuming that you're not financing the points. So we're calculating, we're calculating IY. So I always use, there's no right or wrong way here, but I always use the original rate. It's a little more conservative. So, and then I'll make the points a negative because you're paying those. And then the payment is the monthly savings, and future value is 0. So, and the number period function in Excel is NPER. So, just like the others, it tells you what to enter, rate, comma, payment, comma, PV, and then we don't have to enter future value because it's 0. So hit return. So it's 42.49 months. So if it was, if it asked for years, we just divide by 12. This question doesn't, but it would be 3.54 years. So in most cases, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 or 7 years for you to recover the cost. Some is most common. The and part of the reason for that is that mortgage companies, they know that the average life of a mortgage is around 7 years. So if you pay it off before then they make out. So that's what they're betting on when they give you a low rate in exchange for points. They're thinking that you're going to refinance or you're going to sell the house. So
So I don't really get the whole 2 points thing. Is that I don't really understand like the
the
measurement of points.
points is 2% of the loan amount. Okay.
I've never
So
bought in a home, so I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. So, but it's so when we refinance here,
Mhm.
we're going to refinance $170,000. So our new
Mhm.
loan is going to be for that amount. We're not including any costs in that. Um, but the points is the lender's fee. Okay. So they're charging you, um, $3,400.01 to create this loan, which it's based on the amount of the loan. So in this case, if a point is
Mhm.
1%, so 2 points is 2%.
Mhm.
So we just have to multiply 0.02 times 170,000, and we get that's how much the lender would charge to lend you the money.
Oh, so that's not like money that she would save. That's money that she
No,
has to pay to refinance.
yeah, it's going to cost. When you refinance a mortgage,
Oh.
it's going to occasionally sometimes banks will do short loans. Like if you have like maybe 10 years left on your
Mhm.
mortgage, they might do a no point loan, but
Mhm.
or no, no cost refinancing. But in most cases, you're going to have to pay title insurance and all the other crap that goes along with it. Title insurance is probably the most expensive item, but the
And so the points thing is specific to just refinancing the home. Usually, like when
yep,
you take out the
yeah,
first mortgage, they don't charge
yep.
points.
Well, you can get a lower,
Oh.
they'll offer you lower rates if you'll pay points. So,
Mm.
so they, but but again, it's the same type of analysis.
Mhm.
If they want you to pay points, then you need to think about how long you're going to be in the home, because
Mhm.
if you pay points and you refinance or you sell the home, you lose the benefit of those points.
Mhm.
So that makes
Oh. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, good. Um, well, that's it as far as the problems on this exam. There are only three. So,
Mhm.
we cover. I did. There's two rolled reviews in the modules, and then I did one last week, and then this one. So there's four for you to look at if
Mhm.
if you feel like you need it. If you but I encourage you to practice, especially like well all of them, but especially the
Mhm.
mortgage refinancing, because there's a
Mhm.
lot of steps involved and so forth.
No, 100%. I'm definitely going to use the textbook that you gave us. Those have some pretty similar-ish kind of questions to kind of get that practice correct.
Yeah, yeah, there are mortgage refinancing questions on in the book.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Great. Then I will definitely practice with a couple of those because I know I need a little bit of assistance on them.
Okay. All right. Well, if you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll be happy to help you out.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you have a good evening.
You as well.
All right. Thanks. Bye bye.